Motherfucker, you could peekaboo this guy. I got your nose, this motherfucker, and he'd be like, oh my God, he got my nose. The goddamn neo-Marxist postmodernist got my fucking nose. Give it back. Guess who wants to punish poor kids? HasanAbi, Ben Shapiro, eat at night in today's news. What the fuck? I don't want to punish. He's making it seem like in the Thumbo, he makes it seem like I'm trying to punish kids.
.com/DeFranco. And then, hungry people don't exist because I've never met one. That's literally what Minnesota Republican State Senator Steve Drazkowski said to argue against a bill that would provide universal free breakfasts and lunches to all public school students.
I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that is hungry.
Bro, for real though, yeah, exactly.
Yet today, I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that says they don't have access to enough food to eat. Now, I should say that hunger is a relative term, Mr.
He's like, I run away. He's like, I run away from the poor all the time. And yes, while my policies imply that if I am able to see a poor person, if I'm forced to see a poor in the flesh, that means I should legally be able to turn them into biomatter. It technically is true that I have yet to see a poor anywhere.
Mr. President, you know, I had a cereal bar for breakfast. I guess I'm hungry now.
Oh, there's so many douchebags in this story. Imagine having the audacity to say that, period. But the fact that this man is a politician, it really brings the insane stupidity to another level. I'm starting to feel like if you've never been poor, you shouldn't be able to take a public office. Because this schmuck's full-throated admission of being completely out of touch with the people that he represents is wild. Right? I'm not talking about feelings here. I'm talking about data. Specifically, data from the Hunger Free Schools campaign showing that 1 in 6 children in Minnesota is food insecure. But also, 25% of those children are not eligible to get financial help with school meals because it's a means-tested program, which is exactly why supporters of the bill say it is needed because it can close the gap for families in Minnesota that don't qualify for free or reduced school meals but still struggle to pay for them. And what's more, according to Democrat Senator Heather Gustafson, who wrote the bill, 1 in 5 students in Senator Drazkowski's district qualifies for free and reduced lunch. But also, unsurprisingly, that wasn't the only stupid thing Drazkowski—
I'm sorry. He said he's never met them. Technically, he's right.
said regarding the bill. He also argued the estimated $200 million a year the measure is estimated to cost.
It's so funny, dude. It literally is like, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Like, that's insane. Like, you're not a baby, dog. You're not saying go, go, gaga. What is this, like, object permanence shit, dude? Like, it's literally, this part of your brain should have been fixed by the time you're like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? It's like when you hide your face and the baby goes, oh no, I guess this person never existed. You know what I mean? And then you open up your face again. It's like, oh, you're here again. How did that happen? Where'd you go? Motherfucker, you could peekaboo this guy. I got your nose, this motherfucker. And he'd be like, oh my God, he got my nose. The goddamn neo-Marxist postmodernist got my fucking nose. Give it back. Ugh, what am I to do without my nose? I can't breathe no more. They took my nose. Like, how do you say that? How do you say that? How do you fucking say? How do you get up there and in a legislative session be like, I've never seen a poor, hungry child, so it doesn't exist?
Costs would be better spent on addressing learning issues at schools. But as Gustafson pointed out, this will do exactly that, saying, being hungry makes learning almost impossible. There is no worksheet or assignment, test, or project that will matter to a student who hasn't had anything to eat. Right? And studies have shown time and time again that kids fucking need food to be able to learn and focus, and feeding students actually helps performance. Beyond that, $200 million a year in this specific context is not very much to provide every single public school kid 2 free meals 5 days a week, especially when you consider the fact that education receives the second biggest amount of funding in Minnesota's budget, and that the state lawmakers are working with a $17.5 billion budget surplus this year. Now, all that said, the good news here is that the Senate did actually pass the bill, and since it's already been passed in the House, it's now expected to be signed into law by the Democratic governor. But Drazkowski wasn't the only person saying stupid shit about school lunches and child hunger this week. You also had this clip of Ben Shapiro Ding Dong going viral where he's arguing against making school lunches free.
School lunches are not going to solve the problem of child hunger at any serious level. If there is a problem of children actually starving, that is a child endangerment scenario to which CPS needs to be called. If you're talking about like actual child starving.
I cannot understand how unimaginably stupid this was. Like, how did he not feel embarrassed to just like come out of the gate swinging with that? And then he ended up doubling down on it too. Like, it blows my mind. By the way, I'm not even serious. I'm not even kidding. If you are one of these people who like supposedly espouses that they're leftist or like supposedly is like ostensibly on the left or whatever, and you fucking spend all of your time talking about like Hasan once said famously that he predicted that Russia would not invade Ukraine. And it's been a fucking year and you still talk about that instead of literally shoveling these statements from Ben Shapiro down his goddamn gullet every fucking day. You're not a leftist, okay? You're just a fucking drama pervert, okay? I mean, that's insane. This guy gets away with saying whatever the fuck he wants. I made one wrong fucking prediction with a sound analysis associated, attached to it. And all these fucking weird drama perverts still bring it up. Not even waiting for Chad to say it anymore. Zero guide. No, I mean, we were talking about the NatSec shit earlier. It's crazy. It's crazy. Focus your fucking efforts on something that matters, okay? This piece of shit literally said there are 9 million children in this country that are food insecure, okay? 9 million. We need to bring in the big government, bust down 9 million fucking doors, and forcibly kidnap those children from their parents. Like, how do you pay the CPS? It's still taxpayer funded. He's literally saying, I don't want my taxes to fund the much cheaper initiative that's going to actually feed the children. I want them to instead fund the more expensive initiative, which is going to put these fucking kids in the foster care system away from their family members, dude. Like, he wants to spend more money to rob these fucking children of their future. That's insane. One of the more evil things I've ever heard. Protect the children, by the way. Save the children, by the way.
Starvation. The truth is, it does not take that much money to feed a child. I know I have
also
three of them.
wrong.
That's right. It's not hard to feed your kids. There's no excuse. Just become a massively successful grifter. Stoke the flames of a culture war. Peddle in intellectually dishonest or ignorant opinions. Get a career based off of dunking on teenagers who don't have a college degree yet. And boom, you could feed 3 kids like Ben. Also, I just love that the core of this argument is, the government shouldn't be stepping in and paying for these kids' lunches. If the parents can't pay for the kids to eat, we should pay people to take those kids out of the home, place them somewhere where all of a sudden the care for that child is also subsidized. But I'm also getting ahead of myself because, he's just factually wrong on a multiple level. First of all, he's totally mischaracterizing the situation. Kids can be food insecure or hungry without being physically starved, right? That's on the very extreme end of a very big spectrum. What's more, he's wrong that school lunches don't have an impact on child hunger, especially for families dealing with sky-high food prices due to inflation combined with the winding down of many pandemic-era programs that help reduce household hunger nationwide to the lowest ever. And these universal free lunch programs in particular are incredibly impactful. If you don't know, during the pandemic, the Department of Agriculture waived school meal eligibility requirements so schools could offer free meals for all students. And according to a study by the Food Research and Action Center, 95% of school nutrition staff surveyed said that the waivers helped reduce child hunger in their districts during the 2021-22 school year. Beyond that, school lunches make up a lot of the meals that students have, which is also something Representative Ted Lieu put really well in a tweet responding to Benny Boy's absolute dumb fuckery. Dear Ben Shapiro, your remarks are dumb. Let's do math. Say a kid should eat 21 meals a week. School lunches provide 5 of those meals, solving nearly 1/4 of the problem.
I hated Ted Lieu's response. Like, he should just fucking said, you're a dumbass, you're an animal, you're a monster, and I'm glad you left my state and you should go to jail. That's what I would do if I was a senator. I'd be like, I'm going to throw you in jail. I don't even have the power to do so, but I'm just going to say I'm going to throw you in jail anyway.
That's pretty good. Oh, and how about you miss one of your meals 5 days a week and see how you feel? And keep in mind with Ted, that's just him talking about
Like,
school.
why the fuck would you want to debate this animal, dude? Like, literally a demon. Like, he just straight up said, let's spend more money fucking kidnapping children than feeding them. Jail.
Lunches. Right, just in 2019, the Agriculture Department also funded $2.5 billion free or low-cost breakfast to kids in need. And for universal free lunch programs that also provide free breakfast like California's and the one expected to go into effect in Minnesota, we're talking about kids getting almost half their meals at school. Also, going back to Shapiro saying Child Protective Services needs to get involved, I'm in no way the only one calling that out. With this group, including the likes of Hassan Piker, who tweeted, 9 million children in the richest nation on earth live in food-insecure homes. Mr. Protect Our Kids claims the best thing for the small government to do is kidnap them and put them in the foster care system system instead of offering free lunches or child tax credits. Right? It's probably way more expensive to fund enough resources to track down all the kids who are hungry and then find them homes or whatever the fuck this plan is, than just help feed them at school. And I say this not as just an outsider, right? I'm doing well for myself. I'm not gonna act like I'm the most connected to Joe Blow guy. But I grew up poor. I took advantage of free lunches at times. And it will never not infuriate me that people that seemingly are ignorant and have no empathy whatsoever have these massive audiences where it would make more sense to rip me away from my parents who were trying to bounce back at the time than to support a social safety net that is specifically meant to help the kids. And to bring it back to the core story with Minnesota, in a state where the $200 million is a tiny little fraction of the surplus. But hey, that's
literally cheaper to fucking feed children, and Ben is still advocating against it out of the principle of advocating against it because he's a fucking demon, dog. He's out of his fucking mind.